So we've obviously talked about Jameson Williams a little bit in retrospect, but a lot of analysts and commentators have speculated that Jameson Williams won't officially be ready to play until later in the season. I've heard most people say somewhere in November is when they're expecting him to potentially be ready to play. What do you think that Williams will, when do you think he'll actually be ready to play? And if he does play sooner or later, what do you think his stats will be for the season?
So I don't know I can't even remember when he tore his ACL, and I don't really know, what is it, like a year timeline usually to get back to being fully healthy? I don't really know, to be honest. Do you know?
Well, I have a little bit of insight into this. So he tore his ACL in the championship game against Georgia. I believe it was Georgia, yeah.
Oof.
And that was in January.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. You're saying a year. If we're about maybe 10 years earlier, maybe that might have held true. Medical science and rehab has come a long way in how fast these players can come back. Just for example here, Cam Akers from the Rams last year, he freaking tore his Achilles and he was back in 6 months.
Right.
So
yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, Jameson Williams' surgeon who performed the surgery said that he's already well ahead of schedule. Jameson Williams says that he's well ahead of schedule. We've seen videos of him already doing some movement drills. I personally think that at best, I think he could be ready week 1 of the season. I don't think they're going to play him in the preseason. I think they're going to be a little bit more cautious and let him continue to learn from the sidelines. But I think that if everything clears out and checks out, he could be ready to go week 1. I don't think they're going to wait until November before they say, okay, yeah, now we're going to put him in. Because if they're truly trying to win, Jameson Williams is a very key element in that offense. They want him out there as soon as he's healthy and able.
That's fair. My one thing with that, though, is don't rush him, please, because I don't want to see him get hurt again. We shouldn't.
True.
Like, say Jameson Williams doesn't even exist. If you look at the offense as it is already, they should be able to score points without Jameson Williams. I don't want it to be week 3, let's say, and if only Jameson Williams was in there, we'd be winning these games. I don't want that to ever become a narrative, because that should never be a narrative. That should not be an excuse this year. If he doesn't play till November, that's how it ends up going. Score points. You have plenty of other weapons. You have an offensive line that should be able to force the ball down anybody's throat. Don't rush the guy back. You just traded up for him. He's a first-round pick. He's one of the most explosive athletes in the draft. Don't rush him back, and don't succumb to fans, because if the Lions do struggle offensively and Jameson's not playing, you already know people are going to be like, oh, we need Jameson Williams. If only we had Jameson Williams, which I just don't think is the case. Obviously, he'll help, but I don't think that could possibly be a reason alone.
I think that's a fair assessment. I think that you make a valid point. It's just, for me, I think the Lions and Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, they realize that this is a really great opportunity for them. They made a lot of strides in the offseason. They made a lot of pickups on talent in the draft. They've got a weak schedule by comparison to the rest of the NFL. If the Lions truly want to make strides and actually win several games, the best thing, like we said last week, is that they need to start early. They need to start winning games early. Yeah. Jameson Williams helps in that. Do I think he is the ultimate reason that they win games early? No, but he definitely helps. So here's my prediction. If Jameson Williams starts week 1 and he's fully healthy, doctors have cleared him, the coaches, GMs, they're all comfortable in singing Kumbaya and saying, okay, go out there and play, I think that Jameson Williams has a 1,000-yard rookie season receiving. He might have 5, maybe 6 touchdowns because, again, learning everything in the end zone is a little bit more complicated than just going out and running routes and getting yards. But I think if he starts week 1, 1,000-yard plus season, 5 to 6 receiving touchdowns. If he doesn't show up until, say, November, I think you have to cut that in half to maybe more like 600 to 700 yards and maybe more 2 to 3 receiving touchdowns. That's my assessment. What do you think?
Yeah, that's fair. If he is ready to go and he's saying, yeah, let me play, let's let the kid go. 1,000 yards, that seems fair. He is a freak of nature when it comes to running, like a freak of nature. So if Jared Goff can put the ball there, let's do it. Let's see what happens.
I'll just say this right now. When you got DJ Chark, who's got 4.3 speed, you've got Jameson Williams, who's got 4.2 speed, I think Jared Goff is going to be finding his guys just wide open all over the damn field. He's just going to be like, okay, you're open. Who's the better option? Because behind that line, he could literally make himself a turkey sandwich, watch the news, and then still complete the pass before anybody get even close to him if it's fully healthy.
It's full circle.
That's how good I think this Lions offense can be.
We're going to end the show the way we started it. Jared Goff. This
Absolutely.
is it, buddy.
I think
this is it, 16. Let's see it. Let's see it, young man. Come on, Jared.
I agree with you. This whole season, even though it's about the Lions having a chance to succeed, it starts and finishes, it lives and dies by Jared Goff. So this is the perfect chance for Jared Goff to come back to, I would say, relevance in the NFL world rather than just being, a serviceable quarterback. He can return back into that top 10 conversation if he has a really great year. I truly believe that.
Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a way. Yeah.